müssen, weil ich vergessen habe, dass ich 3 Bullets habe. Weil es keiner gesagt hat. Ich trink mal kurz.
Did you know someone left a handprint behind on the inside of the locker?
Ja.
They must have been hiding in there and put their hand on the wall without thinking. Does this handprint look familiar, Toko?
No, it doesn't. Okay then, let's just compare it to your hand, shall we? That'll clear everything up.
Stop wasting my time. Just tell us the truth.
Okay, it's my handprint.
Warum können wir nicht Byakuya alles machen lassen? Toko hört anscheinend auf ihn. Okay, it's my handprint. Like seriously, die ganze Zeit nein, aber kaum sagt Byakuya, sagt sie okay.
Dang, she just straight up admitted it.
Then you killed Sakura!
No, I swear, there's no way!
Out with it.
I probably did kill her.
No, I swear there's no way. I probably did kill her. God.
Straight up again.
Wait, what do you mean probably?
Give us the details, Toko. What happened between you and Sakura?
Talk. Now.
After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go there early, so I went into the rec room. I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go, but I was too scared to face her head on, so I figured I'd just sneak in first and hide in the locker.
Then, did you see what happened? Did you see me hit her?
Yes, and I saw you write my name. I saw you forge her dying message.
Well, that's awkward.
So after he left, I jumped out of the locker and put the magazine back on the shelf.
But when you did, you put it back upside down.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry.
Imbeciles, all of you.
Forget all that. Why did you attack Sakura?
After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me like a monster growling. And when I turned around, there was Sakura, covered in blood and staring right at me. When I saw all that blood, I fainted right there in front of the magazines. I don't remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you'll have to ask her.
Her? You mean?
Guess it's back!
It was your fault after all.
My fault, Master's fault. When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights!
Just answer the question. Did you kill Sakura?
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories. So I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake. Was it a prince paying me a visit? I wondered. So I opened my eyes to see... splatter everywhere! I was not prepared for that.
Sagte die Maskenmörderin.
And, well, I guess it took me by surprise. I got so startled, I smacked her with the first thing I could find, which I guess was a bottle. Sakura was just worried about you, and you're terrible! No, she's terrible! Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever!
And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of the evidence, didn't you?
I wasn't about to die for some woman! If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master!
Just go away and die your meaningless death alone. Don't drag me into it.
Mich wundert, dass sie noch keinen Versuch hat, Byakuya umzubringen. Sie hat gerade gesagt, wenn sie stirbt durch die Dinge, dann nur, weil sie Byakuya umbringt. Warum hat sie es noch nicht versucht?
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me. Because normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack, no problem.
Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling from Hiro's attack.
Hey, come on. That's... you know. But anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre. So that's good.
So that's good. Keep talking like that in Hina's corner.
That's that. Let's start the vote.
Huh? I thought for sure you'd have some words for Hiro on that one.
What's wrong? Come on, everyone. We're ready to vote, right? Let's do this.
No, not quite yet.
Huh? Not yet? Why not yet?
Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story? I mean, you had to have noticed.
Odd? Huh?
Hiro's attack, and then Toko's.
but that still wasn't the end of it.
It wasn't?
Tell us your story one more time. Tell us what happened after you fainted. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm talking about.
Your wish is my command, darling.
It's not over yet, is it? The one who killed Sakura is...
I was just sleeping peacefully. And all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
You were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
So if the second shot from Toko is what killed Sakura, then the problem is, where did Sakura die? It was... Ja, dann muss ich das letzte mit Status of Sakuras Body angreifen, ne?
And all of a sudden, I remember waking up.
You were taken by
Weil sie sagt, sie starb direkt vor dem Ding.
I killed her there in front of the shelf.
Und wir haben aber, es ist State of Sakuras Body, sagt sie starb auf dem Ding. Es sei denn, Toko hat sie auf den Stuhl gehievt. Was ich kaum glaube.
Sitting upright in a chair. If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair. So, you finally noticed.
That's just another lie from a bloodthirsty serial killer.
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
That has to be... Self was the blood splatter. Genau. Ich meine, da war ja Blut.
Sakura was definitely attacked in
Oder
front of the
pinke
shelf.
Farbe, je nachdem.
The blood stain by the magazines is proof of that.
Was ist, wenn die ein Kanister mit dieser Farbe finden und irgendwas anstreichen? Hey.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right? All to make it look like I did it. Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair.
Hey, come on now, look at me. I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors.
Das
There's
stimmt.
no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that.
Then what's the deal?
Well, are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
But
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room, still has yet to be explained. Until we take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled.
oh, that part's easy. After she killed Sakura, Toko just hid in the locker again.
So she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the door? And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
No, I don't think that's possible.
The reason there's no way Toko was hiding in the locker is because... I was in the locker. The locker was too small. I saw it for myself. What did you saw for yourself? What did you saw for yourself?
My gun!
Ich war selbst da
Even
drin.
before we open the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside. And at that point, the locker was already open. So obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
I don't know. What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much.
Ja?
You're lying.
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
But if Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
And
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
that's because you're overlooking vital information.
Could we really be missing something so important? There's another possible explanation. Maybe it's... yellow powder?
What was it that killed Ogre? If it... And what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head. So you're dead set on blaming me, huh?
The vomiting, just not buzzing my five foot would be have to be written here.
What was it? If it wasn't from Genesis, then what was it?
There's no other possible what killed Sakura. I can't think of anything other than
Hier,
the
in den Monokuma fallen. Lies nochmal nach. Heilige Scheiße, Mädel.
According to the Monokuma file, Sakura had vomited blood. I think we can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottles, she cut the inside of her mouth.
Wie?
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified vomited blood. Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Dun dun dun!
Poisoned?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
Sicher, Byakuya, sicher. Wenn du das so sagst, dann muss es ja stimmen. Hast du ja gerade gesagt, wenn er was sagt, muss es stimmen.
You're making me go all weak in the knees!
Und die hatten Orgasmus.
She was poisoned? It isn't possible!
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her.
You can explain it?
Of course, if you don't mind.
Everyone quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
Heilige
But you're
Scheiße.
the only one talking.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Huh? Not in the rec room? Then I could have found it all along.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah, good point.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found this.
Chem C9.
Is that the poison?
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C. In Section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
What of poison that I just showed? Sure, nobody got it. It was on the shelf as supplements. Also A. Nein! Are your eyes secretly not holes? You've already forgotten what you saw right before the trial began. Ich wollte A drücken. Ich dachte, die sind alphabetisch geordnet. Jesus Christ, Byakuya. Das war ein Missklick. Also, ich wollte A drücken. Die Hand! Das ist unfair! Siehst du das?
I got it!
Das ist doch nicht fair.
Poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
Das kotzt mich gerade an.
You just said that Section A was for supplements or whatever.
Yeah, no shit.
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean, this.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Yes! He's killing himself! He doesn't want to be in this class trial anymore! Finally! Becker put the bottle of poison to his lips and...
Master!
We were so shocked at what we were seeing, all we could do is stand there and watch. But as it were the most natural thing in the world, Becker was as calm as ever. Chuck the bottle! Kill yourself! Gott, ich wäre froh, wenn er endlich weg wäre. Keiner. Warum ist der beliebteste im gesamten Ding neben Naegi? Nicht Naegi, Nagito. Because Nagito is a precious cinnamon roll.
That tastes awful.
Natürlich, wenn du solches Puder roh frisst.
Oh no! Master's in real
das das Einzige, worum du dich sorgst? Nicht, dass er gerade Gift gefressen hat, sondern Puder ohne Wasser?
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Jemand hat gesagt, dass das Gift hohe Qualität hat.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Du musst es mischen. Puder selbst schmeckt scheiße. Proteine verliert seinen Geschmack, wenn du es mit Wasser mischt. Weil es gibt Proteine mit Erdbeergeschmack und all das. Because why not? Du kannst die Proteine doch auch in deinen Kaffee mischen. Was Sakura und Aoi immer machen. Ihren Proteinkaffee. Warum nicht? Protein ist gut für Muskelaufbau.
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Alter, hatte er... Es ist Puder. Wenn sie also das Gift, er oder sie oder es, das Gift mit dem Ding ausgetauscht hat, mit dem Protein, sollte dann nicht noch Reste in der Flasche sein von dem Gift? Ich meine, ich glaube nicht, dass er oder sie die Flasche vorher ausgewaschen hat. Ja, okay, Bjarke hat gesagt, es ist nicht giftig, es sei denn, du trinkst eine ganze Flasche davon. Aber trotzdem, es sollte ja mindestens die Scheißerei bekommen. Ist doch so.
Sure. Do whatever you like.
Nein, dafür ist es nicht zu fein. Kyoko took the bottle from Byaku and scraped out a bit of the contents with one finger. She touched her finger to her tongue.
It's protein powder.
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder.
Warum hat er das gesamte Puder gefressen? Du kannst Puder nicht fressen!
Which makes one wonder.
Stell dir mal vor, jemand hätte da Zimt reingeschmissen. Weißt du, was mich wundert? Egal ob Zimt oder irgendwas anderes, wenn du Puder frisst, kriegst du einen Hustenanfall. Siehst du schon bei einem Esslöffel. Warum konnte er das Puder fressen? Ohne irgendwas.
The poison
Sicher.
that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
Where did it come from? Where did it go? Where did it come from?
No!
Despacito. Ayo! Despacito! The bottle of poison was actually filled with protein powder. Which would mean that conversely the poison must have been in... Could it be? Could it be?
You're all wrong!
Hangman's Gambit. Oh Gott, Protein. Was ist das für ein Wort? Ah. Protein Reh.
Now I understand.
Ich wollte ja nicht Shaker sagen, weil es doch die Flasche war.
Must have been poured into the protein can. If the protein's in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched. So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
Something at the scene. A protein drink.
I got it! You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains. So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
The evidence that shows who switched to had to be must be found in front of the shelf. Die Fußdinger, ne? Footprints.
I got it!
Genau.
The footprints left behind in front of the shelf. That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point. They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind.
Das macht aber trotzdem keinen Sinn. Aber wenn er das austauschen müsste, müsste er vorher auch zu C gehen, um das Gift zu holen. Aber da war ja nichts. Das sind ja keine Fußabdrücke auf C, sondern nur auf A. Wo hat er denn das Gift her, oder hat er das Gift schon vorher geholt? Oder ist es die Flasche, die da am Boden liegt? Das versuchen wir jetzt gerade herauszufinden. Ich weiß es, ja, weil ich den Anime und den Manga gelesen habe. Aber trotzdem, der müsste trotzdem zu C. Es spielt keine Rolle. Der muss zu C, um das Gift zu holen. Deswegen sage ich ja, sei denn es ist die Tat war von langer Hand geplant. Sandra?
And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
It was me.
Aoi war es.
The footprints. They're mine.
It's Aoi.
Hina?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Then Ogre's killer was...
Yep, I did it. I killed Sakura.
Just as I suspected. The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
Sneakers, the only people wearing sneakers are... Makoto und Hina.
I got it! Me
Wer
and
sagt
Hina
überhaupt,
are
dass
the
es
only
Sneakers
ones.
sind?
Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
Es könnten doch auch die Hausschuhe von der Schule sein. Die haben dieselbe Profil wie die Fußdinger gehabt. Beziehungsweise die haben dasselbe Profil wie die Straßenschuhe von den Sneakers. Also wenn du ein... Was?
Ich habe jetzt gerade wieder einen Fehler gemacht.
Ist mir doch egal.
Okay. Dauert eh schon so viel.
These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours? No! Okay, let me see your shoes and I confirm the size for myself.
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Just Hina.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began. You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you? This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
I can't believe it.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just... the two of them were so close.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Hina, is it true? Did you really... kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it all at once. And then
Hold it! I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind. Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves. Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism, but there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
well, that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
He's right. It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please, I'd like to know too.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Well, right away I went to Section C and got the poison.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to Section A and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them. Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
That story you just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison. Then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
But if that's true, isn't that a little strange?
Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
How long? Until we figure it out. Until I uncover the full truth of this case. Footprints.
First I went to Section C.
Jawohl.
That's when I grabbed the poison.
Jawohl.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C to Section...
Ne,
No, that's wrong.
that's wrong.
You said you went to get the poison from Section C. And that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from Section C to Section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from Section C to Section A. That contradicts what you just said.
Mir fällt gerade auf, Snake in Makotos Hand. Alter, sind das Krippelfinger.